There you go. You have it all this evening. I trust you're doing well. I'm Ethan Teshovia. You're watching RTV News live from Kigali. Now, President Paul Kagame has noted that the effective way for Rwanda has been dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic and its effects is a result of both the unity of Rwandans and dealing with the problems and the result of the seeds of good governance planted in the past. Sergeant Ole kicks off tonight's edition with this very report.
The head of state made the observation on Friday as he presided over the swearing-in of 3 officials: Assumpta Ingabire, who is the Minister of State in the Ministry of Local Government in charge of Social Affairs, the Auditor General Alex Kamuhire, and DCGP Rose Muhisoni, the Deputy Commissioner General of the Rwanda Correctional Service. The President urged the newly sworn-in officials to continue in the culture of good governance and fulfilling their responsibilities towards the people they serve. Our behavior during these difficult times has been so good it has gotten international recognition and is seen by many as a potential lesson for other nations. Something like that does not just happen, nor does it materialize out of nothing. It stems from practices that go back in time, the country's policies and how they are implemented, the people who implement them. These are things that have been in effect for the last 15 years or so. They did not just suddenly spring up. I therefore wanted to remind the newly sworn-in officials that mindsets and methodologies, the way things are understood, should be in line with producing the sort of tangible results that benefit the country, like those other things I was talking about. His Excellency Paul Kagame also noted that Rwanda will continue to ensure that her people are adequately vaccinated against COVID-19 and that the country is set to soon start producing its own vaccines, not just those to fight COVID-19. In the near future, we could start making vaccines right here in Rwanda, and not just COVID vaccines. There are other things we should be able to do. Rwandans working with the foreigners who helped us to attain this. A malaria vaccine is now in reach, and for other respiratory illnesses like TB. The vaccines will first meet the needs of Rwandans and then those of Africans and beyond if possible. That is what we want. Assumpta Ingabire replaces Inyasien Nyirarukundo, who was transferred to fulfill other duties in the office of the Prime Minister, and Alex Kamuhire takes over from Obadiah Biraru. DCGP Rose Muhisoni replaces DCG Chantal Ugeneza, who is now the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of administration and personnel.
Many thanks, Serge, for that report. Now, Rwanda and Greece on Friday signed an agreement on political consultations and diplomatic training. The agreements were signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation, Dr. Vincent Birute, and Minister Nikos Dendias of the Foreign Affairs Minister of Greece, who is in Rwanda on a working visit. We have more of this report. This Friday, the Greek Foreign Minister and his delegation were received by President Paul Kagame at Village Rugido. The President's office said that the talks between President Kagame and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Greece, Nicholas Dendias, focused on strengthening bilateral cooperation between Rwanda and Greece, regional issues, as well as the Africa-EU relationship. The visit also saw the signing of an agreement on political consultations and diplomatic training between the two countries. The agreements were signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation, Dr. Vincent Birute, and his Greek counterpart, Minister Nikos Dendias, the Foreign Affairs Minister of Greece, who is on a working visit to Rwanda. The two ministers also held talks on cooperation in agriculture, education, economy, and diplomacy, as explained by Minister Birute.
Earlier today, we signed a memorandum of understanding on political consultations that will allow us to discuss prospects for deepening our bilateral cooperation in areas of mutual interest, including trade and investment, tourism, education, and agriculture, among others. We also signed an MOU on cooperation in the field of diplomatic training, which will reinforce the collaboration between our respective ministries of foreign affairs. The visit to Rwanda of Minister Dendias and his delegation is the result of the commitment by both countries to strengthen their engagements both at the bilateral and multilateral levels. We welcome the decision of your government to strengthen civil society organizations in Rwanda with a donation of 80,000 euros to be channeled through Rwanda Governance Board.
Nikos Dendias says the Greek government is aware that Rwanda continues to make significant strides in improving investment facilitation laws as well as earning the trust of foreign investors, among other reasons that have attracted a need to revisit the bilateral relations between the two countries.
Rwanda is also one of the best African destinations for doing business and a fast-growing economy. Our economic ties between Greece and Rwanda today are almost non-existent, and this situation needs, should, and will be remedied. Today's meeting was an opportunity to discuss economic and investment opportunities, and also to discuss how a quick follow-up will take place.
Foreign Minister Dr. Vincent Biruta says Rwanda and Greece share a good relationship, but the visit has been a major step in further strengthening it. This Friday afternoon, the visiting Greek Foreign Minister Dendias also visited the Rwanda Governance Board, where he held talks with the CEO Dr. Yusta Kaitesi, who noted that Greece's cooperation in empowering civil society organizations operating in Rwanda is commendable.
Another way these civil society organizations work is to pick a specific activity and do it. So this support will help these organizations in the implementation of the project they are committed to, and I will give you an example of child care center built at the border where parents are able to leave their children in a safe and healthy environment and go about with their businesses.
Meanwhile, this Friday, the Greek government also donated to Rwanda 332,000 doses of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine from Hellenic Armed Forces. The latest arrival of vaccines followed the 200,000 doses donated to Rwanda in September through the military cooperation with Greece. Now, the Genocide Survivor Students Association, IRG, together with the organization of the former students who survived the genocide against the Tutsi, JRG, said the time has come for them to repay the country for supporting them after the genocide against the Tutsi till date. This comes as the association marks 25 years since its foundation. Olive Nete reports.
On the 4th July 1994, that is when the RPF Inkotanyi put an end to the genocide against Tutsi, which killed more than 1 million in just 100 days and left hundreds of thousands of widows and orphans. The issue of orphans that survived this genocide is one of the main issues that Rwanda faced and still facing now, because both physical and emotional wounds are still fresh to survivors, especially orphans.
I was born in a family of 14 kids. My dad had 3 wives, but all of them were killed. Till this day, I don't know who killed my parents and siblings.
I don't know when I was born. I didn't even get a chance to meet my parents. I only see them on pictures. In 1995, schools reopened, and on November 20th, 1996, at the University of Rwanda, the Genocide Survivor Students Association, IRG, was formed. The members of this association had a goal of striving to live and live for a purpose, as well as pulling each other through the difficult times, since most of the members didn't have families to belong.
We had big dreams, sat down, talked about them, put them in writing, and sought legal counsel that would help us to operate legally. We engaged NGOs looking for mattresses, sheets and books, and often visited orphanages to check on the children hosted there. We held drama shows to entertain the orphans and teaching them to stay grounded and focused. We told them that they have to always succeed and hold the light of their loved ones whom they lost. We always reminded them that we are their elder siblings, despite all of us being orphans.
For parenting to be possible in 2000, IRG founded small teams which they called families. It was a family-like setup made of a would-be father, mother and kids, which helped Mudaheranwa Patrick and Jean Ahishakiye to overcome the wounds of the genocide against the Tutsi.
We lost parents, but we have a country. We have a father and a mother. This is hard to explain, but it gives us daily strength to continue living and also planning for the future.
FARG gave me a scholarship in Auka, and in it I found a family. For us who didn't get a chance of having our parents. This helped us to feel welcomed and also made me feel as if we had siblings. Now I'm about to finish my studies. I'm in semester 7 in networking. This gives us hope for the future. Years later, ARG found JARG, an organization of former students who survived the genocide against the Tutsi. Inshoti Lilian and Kayumba Bertrand are among members of JARG who are now husband and wife. He used to tell me that even if we are getting married, you have to know that you are my everything. You have to fill the gap left by my mother.
In the family of IRG, I had a father and a mother. I lived happily, but after I found a wife who is now everything to me, and now I can say that my wounds have healed.
Apart from helping each other overcome trauma, IRG has a long-term project aimed at developing its members, including a permanent home based in Kagugu, of $1 campaign project, and the farm of 120-hectare piece of lands given to the association by President Paul Kagame.
His Excellency gave us a large land so that we can develop ourselves. Some of us didn't have a house to live in and land, but the land is ours and we're benefiting from it. $1 also gave us a donation. Our mentality is in the direction of capacity building so that tomorrow we won't have unemployment problem.
During the October 2012 retreat of IRG members, President Paul Kagame emphasized that the contribution of the Genocide Survivors Student Association in building a renewed Rwanda is incomparable.
So IRG, what you've done is not an easy thing. This means that Rwanda will just be fine and be a country for all Rwandans. It is encouraging to see the very person who is going through the history of grief themselves taking the lead to overcome it and say, we'll overcome it. IRG is a symbol that characterizes the new Rwanda we are building.
October 2021 marked 25 years since the establishment of Genocide Survivors Student Association (ARG), and the main Jubilee celebration will be held this Saturday. Olive Nete, RTV News.
Thanks, Ori, for that report. Now, this Friday, the Rwanda Law Reform Commission launched a dictionary of legal terms. The 532-page book comprises of up to 2,698 legal terms to help all relevant legal entities to understand and use them more readily. The compilation of this dictionary started in 2010 to replace the one of 2000 that was deemed out of date. The National Law Reform Commission has asked Rwandans to read the dictionary and see if there is anything that needs to be corrected in order to improve the book.
Welcome back. My name is Juno Chizigenza in other stories making headlines globally. A trial of Pfizer experimental antiviral pill for COVID-19 was stopped early after the drug was shown to cut by 89% the chances of hospitalization or death for adults at risk of developing severe diseases, the company said. Waburi fetchanga real, crazy or chill, ukunda birenze ibyo wimagina, mu mutima wanjye undishimye naranyuzwe. Waburi fetchanga real, crazy or chill, ukunda birenze ibyo wimagina, mu mutima wanjye undishimye naranyuzwe. Amarira yose warize kubwe, umujinya use wagize kubwo gutenguha.
Umukunda birenze. Fantastic, man. Ngufana birenze. I am a huge fan of you, Juno. I remember we go way back. Now, this is probably what you people didn't know. Me and Juno, we go way back, yeah?
Yeah, we know each other. Before I became Juno Chizigenza brand, when I was still junior.
Hey man, I remember Junior at Agaozo Shalom.
Agaozo Shalom.
Man, good to see you, man.
Thank you so much.
You're doing great, man. I'm so proud of what you're doing, and it's quite an amazing that just a few. When was the last time we met?
2019.
2019.
Right,
You're still at Gaozo?
No, I graduated.
Yeah.
I graduated.
When did you finish it? 2019. I think that's the last time I saw you. And see, just a few years, 2 years, you become a national superstar. You're conquering the country. What are the plans? Are you planning to go all the way?
Of course, of course. That's every artist's dreams or plans. So I'm trying to do international things, trying to invest my efforts, money and everything in my projects. Yeah, so that it crosses border.
Man, I remember I need to share this story. So Juno that you're seeing here used to have a studio at school. So this is not something that he actually started after school. He had a studio back at a girls' showroom together with a couple of friends, and it's amazing how consistency can actually lead to success.
Yeah, that's true. I believe that if you work hard and have a plan, everything goes through. Yeah, that's all. Interesting.
Now, let's talk about, I know there are quite a number of things that are happening right now, but there is this particular one, the 6 kg extended playlist that you're trying to promote of late. What does it mean to you as an artist and you as a person as well?
First of all, it was my debut EP.
Yeah.
So it means a lot in my career. I will always celebrate that date that I released it. It showed people that I can do multiple styles of music, and it made them believe in me that I can do different stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it made my career grow, and yeah, I'm grateful.
Now, looking back at the years, did you imagine you'd be here after just 2 years of after finishing high school?
All right. I didn't know it will be this fast.
Yeah.
But I knew it will happen.
Who has made it possible for you?
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
First, it's me that believed in myself, and
no doubt about that. No doubt.
True. And I have a team behind me. I have a manager. Recently, I worked with Bruce Melody. But now we parted ways because I think I'm a grown up now. I can look after myself in music.
I understand. I love the passion, but also the belief that you have. Let's talk about your relationship and lifestyle. I think what's happening between you and the real Wise? I know many people have asked you this. Are you officially dating?
Nah, we're not dating.
But you're in a relationship.
Yeah, we have a relationship called best friendship, I would call it.
Okay.
She's my best friend.
Yeah.
That's all.
Are you seeing someone else?
Not yet.
No, not yet. Not yet.
I still have some years to go.
There's this song that was a bit controversial. What is the song? This song that has some crazy images in it.
It's called Please Me.
Please Me.
Yeah.
What has it taught you?
It taught me patience and just looking at my target, not considering that people talk about me, because everyone was saying I'm ruining Rwandan culture, and Rwandan culture is a big thing that can't be ruined by just a little bit like me.
So as we head to the conclusion of this very short but nice interview that we've seen, if you could tell us about the highlight of your career so far and the biggest setback you've had, briefly.
I would say I got a chance to be treated like an artist before I was an actual artist at my school. So I had a little experience about music and my career, so I didn't have like a hard setback. But of course you can't miss. You plan and sometimes you fail, But I'm so grateful. Only a year and a half in my career, and I'm this big. A lot of people know me, so I'm so grateful to my fans.
I appreciate your time, man. I appreciate your time. You're going high, and thank you so much for finding time to be on RwandaTV News, especially this Friday guest anchor edition. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for your time.
I appreciate it. Now, on behalf of the entire news production team, know that every Friday we have something that we bring you a guest anchor. Until next time, I'm Ethan Tashobia. Bye for now.